Okay, I will kick us off, and I have a feeling we're going to get joined by some other people soon. But for the sake of time, welcome to, or no, 3 secrets to create an empowered week before it even begins. I am so excited to see you all here today. This is part of our Monday night evening series, and this is part 2 of Michelle's series. She spoke with us earlier on the 11th, and we are so excited to have her back to discuss another common thing that a lot of highly successful women struggle with is just preparing for that next week and being successful, feeling prepared, all of that. So my name is Laura Kepsel. I'm the Director of Speaker Engagement. And as you know, 40 Plus of Greater Washington is a 70-year-old nonprofit organization. Our mission is to help experienced professionals know and confidently communicate their value in securing a new position or changing careers. As many of you know, we do this through a range of programs like this evening's series. And if you're looking for ways to keep your resume sharp, enhance your skills, all of that stuff, you can consider volunteering at 40 Plus of Greater Washington. There are many opportunities and we always appreciate the help. So if you are interested, I'll make sure to put that link in the chat. But that is a great way to be involved and just kind of expand on certain skills if you're looking to up your game there. Occasionally, we receive and post job announcements from regional job centers who see 40 Plus as a valuable resource and recruitment tool. So I would urge you to also periodically check out our career portal on the 40 Plus website. And finally, if you want to check out previous sessions or be alerted whenever we post new content, for example, we just finished posting Michelle's video from last time, all of the recordings, the different clips. So if you want to be reminded of that, get a little recap, like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell on our YouTube channel, and I will put that in the chat as well. There's a lot of great content there. It's a great way to refresh your memory on some of the skills and tactics that have been shared previously in the Monday Speaker Series. Next week, April 1st, we will have a session with Jennifer Wilkov called How to Write and Publish Your Book. So if you've ever thought about self-publishing, publishing your book, you've had that kind of half-written something, that is a great session for you to attend and get that information. So now that those announcements are out of the way, I'd like to welcome this evening's presenter, Michelle. So Michelle Mehta is an international best-selling author, confidence and mindset expert, and a TEDx speaker. She has shared the stage with Jack Canfield, 4-time Olympian Ruben Gonzalez, and Dr. Deepak Chopra. She has shared her message on Fox TV and at the U.S. Air Force Academy. ABC Television said she is one of the most successful teen coaches in 2020. Yahoo Finance named her one of the top 10 female coaches to follow in 2021. Michelle speaks to ambitious women all over the country about how to have more time, freedom, and success without unhealthy boundaries, added stress, or burnout. Her clients become confident to live a life they fully love and truly honor themselves every single day. Michelle lives in Irvine, California, where she can throw a stone and hit over 40 Indian family members. She is fluent in 3 languages, currently learning her 4th, and loves dancing along to songs in Bollywood movies. So without further ado, I am so excited to welcome Michelle. So Michelle, over to you.
Thank you so much, Laura. And thank you, 40 Plus Greater Over, is it Greater Over Washington area? What is your
Greater Washington.
Greater Washington. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here. This is part 2 of our series. If you were here, part 1, give me a thumbs up, raise your hand, let me know if you were here in the first one. And let's begin. What is today all about? Just a brief recap of where I came from. So I graduated from Cal State Fullerton on a beautiful Sunday morning. And I can't wait because tomorrow I'm starting my first job in corporate America. It's been a dream of mine. I was an intern and then they offered me a full-time position and I cannot wait. And I'm working there for 6 months straight until another Monday morning. And I open the door. I walk in and the lights are down. There's no one there. What happened? Where did they all go? Turned out, there was a sign that said, "We're closed." We were just open on Friday. What the heck happened on Monday morning? Clearly, I didn't get the memo. So I decided, I think I'm going to look for a new job. Instead of me looking for people, I'm going to have people come and look for me. What better way to do that than to go from a lonely ghost town life insurance company to United States, well-known, most powerful bank. Yes, I'm talking about Wells Fargo Bank, North America. And I decided to work with them because I thought, customers are going to come in. It's going to be great. I don't have to go look for them. It's going to be a really happening town. Until I realized what my manager was doing. She was creating fraud to make her look good. She also didn't want to do fraud all by herself, so she had her team do it for her, which basically meant the two other personal bankers and I were also involved. However, because I was a newbie to the bank, I only had one fraudulent account at the time, versus the manager and the other two personal bankers had umpteen fraudulent accounts under their name. So the internal auditor team came in and they said, you are no longer part of this branch. All of a sudden, I am now the oldest employee, and I had just started about a month ago. Where is this going? Where is my life going? So I thought, you know what? I'm going to make a difference, and I'm going to go do something radical. And that is, I decided to work there, stay the course till I couldn't anymore. And that was the breaking point of opening 24 bank accounts for a family of 4 under the span of 8 months. And who were this family of 4? My mom, my dad, my sister, and I. Now, I couldn't open accounts on my own. I had somebody else open them for me. So every week we were getting a new debit card in the mail. Where is this coming from? What am I doing? To the point where my family was like, maybe you should reconsider your career choice. I said, yeah, you think? And so I did. I decided to help people for the right reasons and thought, why not help people find a real job? Find a job that they can fall in love with, decide to really pay attention to their values, their needs, their wants, and go from there. And that's when I decided I'm going to become a recruiter. And through the recruiting, I decided I'm going to support them until I couldn't anymore. And that day came because I got labeled for being too nice. Too nice, and that led me get fired. Who would have thought being too nice was a deal breaker? Well, apparently it happens in corporate, because if they are only after that one thing, which is humans are not numbers and numbers are not humans, but that's what happened. So then I thought, you know what, I'm going to go do something even more different. I have the skill set. I know what not to do in the business. Why not go in my back door, my backyard? And that is join the family business. So decided to work with them, and going through that process, I realized I needed to invest in more education. So I went to UCLA Human Resources Management, got a job there, learned about the trait, got a job at the family business. And I realized, you know what? I'm going to help them become the best leaders that they can be, starting from home, because change starts where you're at. And in that process, my dad was able to sell his business to a Fortune 500 company for a ton of money. We're talking millions over here. He sold his business for a couple million. And then I said, you know what? I have the skill set. Because I had the skill set of making them reach this level, that company, the Fortune 500 company, decided to hire me as well. And I was in my another career of mine, and I loved it. I loved being in charge. I loved the office environment. I loved travel. I loved everything about it. And they said, you know what, Michelle, you're such an amazing employee. And since you've done a little bit of coaching and leadership, can you train our employees? And I said, of course I can. It's a dream come true. So I decided to create an internal coaching agreement, and realized at that moment that, you know what, I'm about to send this out, and I get knock, knock on my door. And who is it? It's my own manager. And he says, you know what, Michelle, the upper management and I have decided that you no longer belong in this company. You no longer belong in this position. Go ahead, and you have 1 hour to delete everything off your iPad and your laptop. So in 1 second, I was hired. In another second, I was fired. Next thing I know, I'm standing outside the door with all my stuff on the sidewalk in a box. What just happened? This was the opportunity for me to trust myself, to realize that sometimes there are doors that are slammed in our face, and there are doors that are open in our face. Which door are you going to walk into? Which door is calling out your name? Which door are you saying a hell yes to or a hell no to? And who's in charge? Who's making that decision? The choice is yours. And so in that moment, I decided, you know what? I love one thing, and that is helping people for the right reasons. So I'm going to become an entrepreneur, not knowing anything about entrepreneurship, but I do know one thing. I have a calling, I have a belief, and I'm on purpose. And as long as that's true, nothing can faze me. And so I realized I'm taking the step, I'm marching this channel, I'm walking out, and I started my own business. Mehta Coaching was born. So today I'm going to talk to you about how to start an empowered week before it even begins. Because sometimes as an entrepreneur, you are not even sure what day of the week it is. You don't even know what time of the day it is. How many of you are in that situation? Because when you're in corporate, you know Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is your week. But then when you're not in corporate or you're retired, you're like thinking, wait, is today Monday? No, wait, yesterday was Monday. What the heck did I do yesterday? Wait a minute, what did I do this morning? What do I have to do tomorrow? So your whole schedule is a little bit wonky because you have not really realized what you need to do in that moment. So today we're going to set up an empowered week before it even begins. What does that look like? Number one, you need to redefine Monday. Say it with me, redefine Monday. What does that mean? That you get to say, you know what? Monday doesn't have to be the week that I start my week. It could be the middle of my week. So then if that's the middle of the week, what exactly are we talking about? Friday. Friday is the day you start your week. But Michelle, is it Friday like the end of the week? Is that the time where you're supposed to party and attend house parties and celebrations? Yes. It's about celebrating you, not others. It's about celebrating how far you've come during that week. It's about celebrating what you want to accomplish in the next week forward. It's about saying yes to you. Say it with me. I'm saying yes to me by starting my week on Friday. So Friday afternoon, you are taking that time. You're writing in your journal, your planner, and saying, you know what? Here's what I'm celebrating. Here's all the things that went really, really well. Here are all the things that I could have improved on. Here are all the things that I wish I didn't have to do. And by taking this charge on Friday, you're making that list. Saturday comes around and you are visualizing, meditating, taking that bath, thinking about, imagining your future self, having those tools already with you. Then on Sunday, you're deepening that faith even more. You're creating these affirmations that we learned in our first part. We're learning about everything that you need, that you know that you are resourceful. So that on Monday, when that alarm goes off, like a normal work week, you have already designed your plan before it works you. You work the plan because you have an option. Either people get on your calendar or you design the calendar where you put yourself first. So get in charge of yourself because I had a client. Her name was Sarah. She wanted to go into law school. She was in a career change. She said, you know what? I've created patents. I know all the things about corporate, but I really want to become a lawyer. I think I need to become a lawyer. What is the first step? Maybe I should take my LSAT. Okay, so she decides to take her LSAT. But then as she's studying, she realizes her mom is elderly and she needs to be the caretaker for her mom 24/7. Now, I don't know about you being a caretaker. It's a lot of work because they are always on their own schedule and you as a caretaker have to fit their schedule. So they don't know time. They don't know what day it is. But so for her to set the side and say, you know what, Monday mornings from 8 to 10 is going to be my LSAT time. And if my mom needs me in that time, I'm going to have my sister come in. Started delegating the work. And sure enough, after working with me for 6 months, she created a dream schedule where she was in charge. And by being in charge, she got into her dream law school. And now she's on her way of becoming the best lawyer that she can be because she decided to put herself first. Because I don't know about you, but us women love to take care of everybody else. And we put ourselves on the back burner. How many of you feel like you're the back burner? How many of you feel like you wish somebody would ask you, how are you doing today? How many times do you feel like maybe you should ask yourself how you're doing today and answer yourself? Maybe just breathe, take that deep breath and just say, I'm okay. Because we get so many things pulled at us. Mommy, this, sister, this, friend, this, and you have to hold space for everybody. And God forbid if you break down, God forbid if you show your vulnerability, then people are going to start judging you for what you're not capable of, which is not true at all. It's all a fantasy, which is not our reality. A fantasy is not our reality until you make it a reality. You start focusing on it. To start believing that you get to put yourself first. You have the opportunity to do so. And if anybody says that you cannot, here's principle number 2 to help you remember. How many of you know FYI? Right? How many of you heard FYI? And how many of you are thinking it's called for your information? I'm telling you, it's forget your information. Forget your information is FYI. Why? Because that allows you to create more compassion in your world. It allows you to say yes to what you want, what you need, what you desire. Your goals, your plans start with your first. My plans, my desire, my wants start with my first, me first. And sometimes, based on other people's schedules, we put that last. So FYI comes in saying, thank you for your concerns. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you. However, I'm going to do what I want to do, which is saying, no, thank you. Because sometimes our well-wishers, our friends, our family, our sisters, our best friends are telling us don't do this because they are afraid of the unknown. They want to keep you safe. They want to keep you small because that's all they know. Don't become an entrepreneur. Go into corporate. Entrepreneurship is hard. Corporate is easy. Were they ever laid off under the age of 33 times? Nope. Right? That was my journey. So for me, entrepreneurship is easier. But for them, corporate is easier. Your journey is your journey, and your journey is uniquely made for you. And yes, there are other people who have walked the path. Follow them. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. You get to support yourself in the wheel that's already invented. We've heard that before, right? Don't reinvent the wheel. There's already a template for that. Canva.com is great. You want to create a guide, copy, paste, there you go. That's where ChatGPT comes in. There's already information out there that you don't have to work towards. So don't make it harder than what it is. That's where the FYI principle comes in. Forget your information, right? And if you want to be a little bit more creative, you can throw in the F-bomb, right? And make it even more stronger and more powerful, right? Just say it in your head. Don't say it out loud, right? So you don't want to piss anybody off in the process. But just remember, forget your information is going to create that more belief. When I decided to become an entrepreneur, I had people telling me how bad of an idea that was. 80% of businesses fail in the first year. It's who's going to pay for that price, where you're going to get your clients. It was kill Michelle's dream, kill Michelle's dream, kill Michelle's dream until it can't be a dream anymore. Versus, I know this is what I'm good at. It's legitimately the missing puzzle piece of my life. I love helping people for the right reasons. I know I'm really good at it, and I will find my clients and I will be successful. Just go ahead and watch me. And so by creating the self-compassion principle for myself, I was able to say yes. And even today, I said no to a corporate America opportunity that came knocking on my door. Even though as an Indian woman, it is perfect. It keeps me safe. It keeps me show stability. It knows that there's consistent income that's coming in. There's not that much of a hard work of the hard struggle finding those clients, but there is the lack of mental peace. There is the lack of mental pressure that comes in, right? Where I have stopped living because of a dream that somebody else had for me, right? So paying attention to what is important to you, What is it that you value? What are your clear wants and desires? What boundaries are you creating as a result of it? How big is that picket fence? Do you have a picket fence, right? Where is that line drawn, that invisible line, that solid line? What are you saying yes to? And what are you saying no to, right? Because when you say yes to something, you automatically say no to something else. We learned that in part 1, right? So being consistent, concrete in your desires, because that's how affirmations work. The more clear you are in your desires, the more clear you are in your values, the more you're going to get of it, right? It's not, I cannot do this. It's, I can do this, right? Because the universe does not know the difference between can and cannot, do and do not, right? And this doesn't just happen in career, it also happens in relationships, right? So paying attention to how you feel, clarity is what's going to get you on the other side. So now that we know we know how to redefine our week, we know how to set up our life in terms of self-compassion. So now what's the next step? The next step is confidence of yes. What does that mean? It is being confidently saying yes to you. How do entrepreneurs make it? There are some entrepreneurs that fail, but there are some entrepreneurs that make it. And they're strictly on one thing that they're running. They're running after purpose and passion. Actually, two things, purpose and passion. They have a purpose of doing something and they're extremely passionate about it. When you're passionate about it, you're heart-centered. When you are purpose-driven, you are heart-centered. And your heart knows more than your mind. Your mind will always back it up with logic. That's how we buy the things that we buy. That's how we wear the things that we wear. There's always an emotion attached to what we're feeling and what we're creating. And so having that confidence of yes, be there. I had a client that was working with me. And the reason why she hired me in the first place was because she said, you know, Michelle, I've been an office manager for the past 3 decades, 30 years. And now the opportunity came to me for me to do something different. And I don't know what that is. But I do know one thing. If I have to do something different, it would be basically to go into sales. I don't know if I'm the perfect saleswoman. I don't know if I can even close somebody. I don't even know how I don't even know how to have a conversation. But I do know one thing. I'm really good at keeping relationships. I'm really good at maintaining relationships, and I'm really good at building them, creating them, and maintaining them. So do you think this is a good aspect for me to go into sales? I said yes, because sales are based on relationship building activities. So the fact that you already have this solid foundation, you can totally go. So I said, but she's like, I still don't feel confident. So what is confidence? Confidence is doing an action, making it perfect, taking that action, practicing it. How many of you were born with learning how to tie your shoe? You came out of your mom's womb and you're like, okay, I know how to tie a shoe, right? No, right? That was an art. And there are some adults out there that still don't know how to tie a shoe, and they will never learn how to tie a shoe because that's not a priority of theirs, right? But did we learn how to brush our teeth when we were out of the womb at 1 day old? Ta-da! Now go ahead and brush your teeth. No, that was made of practice. Same thing with taking a shower. Everything that we've done that we know that we take for granted has all been done through the matter of practice. Where are you lacking confidence? Where do you need more of that confidence? What are you saying yes to with full integrity, full authenticity, with full honesty? What areas of your life do you feel like you're struggling with because you wish, if only I had X, if only I had Y, if only I had that one client, maybe I'll have more confidence. If only I made more money, I would have that confidence, right? What is that one thing that you need? What is that one thing that you want? What is that one thing that you desire? Saying confidently yes to those things. Every single entrepreneur that's out there in this world, across the globe, had to make a lot of sacrifices. You talk about Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Indra Nooyi, all of these people had to make certain kind of sacrifices to get there where they want. They had to fall forward until they moved forward. Fall frontwards, backwards, sideways till they got there. In neurolinguistic programming, we believe that failure is just feedback. There is no such thing as failure. It is just feedback. Course correcting. Okay, maybe, I'll go 50 miles per hour on this side, but maybe I'll go 20 miles per hour on this side. But in reality, you won't know if you got there or not until you actually get there. Maybe you hit the accelerator too fast. Maybe you hit it too slow. Maybe there was a lot of traffic. Maybe you didn't plan your trip right. All it is just information. And again, you know that tool because in principle number 2, you realize you could forget that information as well, right? So having that ability to realize what are you confidently saying yes to, where you can close your eyes and say, yes, I've got the power. I got the desire. I know that I can do it. Having that belief that you will get there. Because on the other side, it's unknown until you walk the other side. And a lot of people are like, well, grass is greener on the other side. Grass is green on the side that you water it. Grass is green on the side that you water it, not necessarily on the other side. So pay attention to what's in front of you. Look at the resources around you. Who can you call upon? Who can you delegate the work to? Who can you reach out to and say, hey, you know what? I'm struggling. And if you want something done, give it to a busy person. They'll get it done a lot faster because they're busy. Don't make excuses for busy people. I made that mistake a few times where I was like, oh, I didn't want to reach out to you because you're so busy. And they said, you know what? I was actually not busy at all. You may think I'm busy because of my social media presence, but you know what? Let me tell you a secret. Those posts were done 5 weeks ago. All I had to do was hit the send button. So we assume that people are busy, but in reality, they are waiting to hear from you. They're waiting to reach out to you. They want you to reach out to them. They want that connection. So if someone says, I'm too busy, you say, great, give them something to do. Hey, can you help me find a person that can do, that can paint my house? They'll know people. Right? So don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. Because when you are afraid, you're stuck. You are basically landlocked. You're in that quicksand motion. The fear of the unknown, fear of judgment, fear of what if I'm not good enough, fear of not feeling loved, fear of being unworthy. All of those beliefs are fear-based. And nothing happens when you're fearful. Nothing happens when you're fearful. Because fear stands for face everything and rise, or fear everything and run. So either you run from it or you rise from it. You have to move. So take the opportunity to move. Confidently say yes to what you believe in. Confidently say yes to what you want. And until you don't declare it, bad opportunities are going to come to you. And you're like, but I really want that good job. I really want that opportunity. Then claim it. You have the power. You have the strength because I believe in you. And if you don't know if you don't feel like I believe in you, let's hop on that call, right? Let's have that conversation. Feel free. Let's connect. Let's have that opportunity to expand, right? Because that is what is really, really important. So how do we go from here, right? You learned about redefining your schedule. You learned about forgetting your information, and you learned about confidently of saying yes. Now the decision is yours. So I'm going to open it up and say, what are some goals that you have? Think about some goals that you have that you would like to achieve in quarter 2, because quarter 2 is starting on April 1st. What are in the next 90 days? What are 3 things that you would like to have happen? What are 3 changes that you would like to have? Let's take 2 minutes to write those down. What are 3 things that you would like to change to make better? something that you want to achieve between April 1st and June 30th. So go ahead and take 2 minutes. Okay, time's up. And I would like to now give you a minute, and I want you to write down 5 sentences that you love about you. 5 sentences that you love about yourself. 5 sentences that make you feel like you're on top of the world. And start off your sentence with I am. And I want you to write down 5 sentences that start with I am that make you feel so amazing. And the best thing about you could say, I love my eyes, or I love the way my hair falls on my face, or you could say, I love the way I am a leader and I'm a trailblazer. So whatever that is, write down 5 sentences, and you can use these as affirmations, as a gift for yourself to fall in love with you. So go ahead and take 2 minutes to write your 5 sentences. And if you want to add a feeling to your 5 sentences, you totally can. I am so proud of myself for being a leader because it makes me feel so excited. I love the way my hair falls on my face. It makes me feel so pretty. So if you can even add a feeling to the 5 sentences that you've written. Okay. Give yourself a round of applause for participating. And now I'd like to see if anybody would like to share what they've written, either a plan for this quarter or an affirmation that they've written. So who would like to share first?
Hi, this is Tamika. I can share.
Hi, Tamika.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Okay, I wrote that I want to utilize my planner instead of like doing the random notes that I do now.
Yes.
And I also wrote that I will finish this data analysis course that I'm in because I've been dragging my heels on it. And I will close 2 real estate transactions.
Heck yeah, you will. Give yourself a round of applause. I'm holding that
Thank
vision
you.
right for you.
Okay.
And what affirmations are you using to back this one up?
I guess for the sentences, I wrote that I'm detail oriented. I love learning. I'm confident. Um, that I'm compassionate and I love the way I care for others.
There you go. And yes, you are. Yes, you are. I'm snapping for you. I'm clapping for you. Tamika, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing. Oh, I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who else wants to go next?
I can share.
Hi, Karen.
Hi. So I wrote my first decision is to gain clarity on my next path. Then I wrote reestablish my network. So I'm definitely living in fear of reaching out. I wrote down what you said, that they want to hear from you. They want that connection. So that was really helpful. And to improve public speaking, to build confidence.
Yes.
And then my affirmations are, I am creative, which makes me feel proud. I'm kind and considerate, which makes me feel warmth from others. I'm a hard worker and loyal to the mission or cause, which makes me feel determined. I'm passionate about learning, which makes me feel invigorated. And then I'm open-minded, and I didn't finish how that makes me feel.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm so proud of you. And part of your public speaking thing, I would love to see if have you heard of an organization called Toastmasters International?
I have heard of it. I have not investigated, but I have heard of them.
So Toastmasters International, the only reason I'm doing this plug is because I've been part of it since 2017, and it has helped me become a much stronger, more confident public speaker, because that's what they teach. They teach public speaking along with leadership. And it's $60 for 6 months. and they teach you every single style of public speaking, because public speaking isn't just vocalizing what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. So they count your filler words. They make sure that you're grammatically speaking correctly. They make sure that you know how to use body language and vocal variety as you're giving a speech. So I would go to toastmastersinternational.org and just figure it out in terms of like your zip code. There are millions of clubs out there because they're in 192 countries and territories around the world. And you
Wow,
can
I had no
travel
idea.
anywhere at any time because of the virtual platform called Zoom. So just yesterday, I gave a presentation to a group of people that are based in Malaysia, but I was in the comforts of California giving a presentation. So the opportunities are endless in terms of a virtual meeting, or you can even meet some of them in person. So toastmasters.org would be your ideal website.
Fantastic, thank you. And I
Yeah,
did follow up
absolutely.
with her last time you recommended someone, I'm blanking on her name now, but we met and
Oh,
did a
yeah.
consult. It was great.
Awesome. I'm so glad. Marem, I think was
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah, the intuitive. Yep.
Yes, yes. So I'm so happy to hear that. Yes. So Toastmasters has been a huge game changer for me. It's allowed me to become a TEDx speaker. And I've also gone through the whole leadership channel up the ladder of Toastmasters. So been a guest, been a member, been a board member, been an area director. So if you have any questions related to that organization, you can feel free to reach out and I will be more than happy to support you on your journey.
Thank you.
Yes, you're most welcome. See, when you share, right? Even if it's a fear, right? There might be somebody that might support you, right? But if you have that fear of no one understands what I'm doing, then no one will understand what you're doing, right? But that's not the case because we all understand to some level as long as we speak the same language called English at this moment, right? So there we go. Anybody else that wants to share? Laura, I'm going to call upon you if no one else.
I'm ready.
Yes.
So I especially really liked kind of the confidence pieces because I think I have all these big ideas and sometimes I'm like, oh, Laura, you are planning so many things. But I think I really love that I have a lot of perseverance and kind of a hustler mentality. And I think that really helps me to achieve my goals, even when they get hard. I think I'm really wanting to get to the outcome. So I don't let challenges get in my way. And in terms of stuff to start, I definitely want to do exactly what you've mentioned here with planning on Fridays, because that's one of my biggest things is Mondays hit. And I'm like, once again, not ready. So that's a huge one. And I think planning in, it's something we talked about at your last session, but planning in more time for me to do some of the work that I have after these meetings, like not this meeting, but you have these work meetings and you have no time to work on what you were supposed to do from that meeting. So scheduling in that time for myself so I actually can accomplish everything. Those are kind of my goals I want to focus on for the next quarter.
I love that. And there is a Pomodoro method, right? Take a 90-minute block, focus on one thing for 90 minutes, and then move on to something else. And so having that constraint, having that ability of setting that timer, right? It could be up to 90 minutes. You could say, you know what, I'm going to watch this television show for 30 minutes. The moment that television show is over, I'm turning off the TV and moving on to something else, right? So just taking that time of saying, time blocking, what is it that I'm focusing on? Color coding it if you want, right? Just really saying like, what's important? How is this going to propel me forward? What's in it for me? We do this for our clients. Why don't we do it for ourselves? Right? Anybody else want to share? One more. Or I'm going to call up on Kadifi because I've built a relationship with Kadifi.
Oh yeah, Gaddafi, do you want to share anything? Do you have anything you'd want to say?
I'm sorry, I was multitasking. What's what
That's great. Multitasking is great until it's not.
what are we sharing?
So I've called upon you to share about what is one thing that you want to accomplish in quarter 2, which is April 1st to June 30th, sorry, April 1st to June 30th. And what are some affirmations you have told yourself that you love about what makes you unique?
I'll start with the second one. I think
Sure.
I I tend to listen more than I talk. I noticed, I'm on a couple of boards and I noticed people like to talk, but they don't really like to listen.
Yeah.
And they miss a lot of information that way and make a lot of assumptions. Um, so part of my goals was to get a new job in quarter 2,
Mm.
but I've since made so many vacation plans that I'm pushing that off till quarter 3. So, but so far this year has been great. I've uh, checked off a couple of goals, so maybe get in shape. That's a good thing for every quarter.
I
So
love that. I love
yeah,
that. Getting in shape is great. So the type of job, do you know what type of job you're looking for? Or is it just any job?
UX
UX.
researcher.
Oh, awesome. Okay. So getting crystal clear on the type of job that you want. And then you said, physically fitness, being healthy. Are you looking at like a calorie goal? Are you looking at like a weight goal? Or are you just looking at, I just want to fit into these amazing clothes that I have? How specific can you be about that one?
Yes, let's see. Maybe a good 30 pounds should do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And losing 30 pounds, how would that make you feel?
Well, yeah, like you said, some of my clothes, like I can't wear half of them because they just don't fit
Right.
right. So, um, I have clothes that I can't wear that I refuse to get rid of.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, absolutely. So getting clear on, if you can put like the more specific you are, right? We know about SMART goals, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, in a timely manner. If you can put that in a SMART goal, you're going to achieve those goals a lot faster because you know what you're going towards. And see, you're not alone. Yes. And
right.
even I have those clothes I want to fit into, right? And I want to get rid of because I feel like I could fit into them. It's like something that we can attain. So whenever you're writing your goal for quarter 2, think about what is it that you really, really want? Why do I want this? How is it going to make me feel? What's going to change? Am I going to get that new relationship? Am I going to feel more confident? Is it going to help me lose the weight? Right? Adding the emotions behind it because we are all emotional beings. We need that emotional aspect of our life, right? We want to make sure that everything that is in alignment with my mind, body, soul, our gut, these are all sensory details. These are all sensory patterns in our body that tells us information. So paying attention. So think about it. If you want to take a few minutes, maybe another 2 minutes to make sure that your goals are on point, because this is the launch pad. You do not start quarter 2 on April 1st. It's too late. It's too late because quarter 2 has already started. So this is March 25th. You have a week before April 1st. So take that time now. Really take that moment and imagine, how is it like getting that dream job? How is it like joining that Toastmasters club? How is it like being in alignment with those meetings and getting those tasks completed? How is it like closing those 2 deals for real estate? You have the power to make it happen. Did anybody get more crystal clear on their plan now?
I'll share. Just
Yes.
for gain clarity, then declare and claim my position. So part of my problem I've shared in the past is about narrowing it down what the role is, the title. And so I just wrote down the first step I need to do is to pick a date that I'll have that title.
Yes.
So it's like a deadline for the role that I'm looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you have that deadline already set?
No, but I can figure it out while we're on this Zoom.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just putting it out there, right? It's not necessarily setting in stone, but it gives our mind something to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
April 1st would be ideal, but I've been really working on this for quite a while. And that seems not, it seems unrealistic, not practical, but it's worth a try.
absolutely. Try it out and see, keep that date and then see where it goes. Once April 1st comes around and say, you know what, maybe I got closer to a title. Or maybe, you know what, I need to reconsider and stretch the boundary a little bit to maybe April 15.
Mhm.
Right? So being more in control. Anybody else that wants to share? Thank you, Karen. Laura, you smiled, so I'm going to pick on you.
About gaining more clarity. So I think I kind of have a better idea of what obstacles I may run into, because I think that's part of it, is I need to know like what to anticipate. So I've always been a people pleaser, so I'm always really bad at saying no to things, and like wanting to take on that extra meeting and all of that. So I think I have certain people I know I need to like plan ahead before I meet with them, and that would give me more confidence to say no during those meetings or anything like that. As well as I think the planning additional time in my day, I think that will prevent a lot of those pieces of it. And just anticipating busy weeks for me coming up in next quarter. So I already can plan ahead of like, these are weeks that I need to give myself more grace or plan out more time for me not to be actively working. And then like, kind of like giving myself more time rather than trying to crunch in a million meetings right before, right after, and then just getting more exhausted because of it. So just being a little more intentional with my planning, I think will help me.
Yes, absolutely. And I think you'll love my burnout guide as well, like, Confidence Unleashed burnout guide, because in that I talk about like how to create boundaries, talking about rejuvenation, take that time for self-care, utilizing your time. And for those of us that are people pleasers, so what is a people pleaser? We just say yes to a lot of things. Hey, it's like, can you do this? Of course. Can you do that? Of course. And then we forget to say no. And so what people start assuming, oh, just pile it on to them, they'll take care of it. But the people that are actually taking care of it are the ones that are feeling depleted. So paying attention to like when you say yes to something, how does it feel in your body? If it's like, oh my goodness, then say no. And when you say no, people are going to respect you more. As crazy as that sounds, if you start saying no, people will value your time more, because what gives something to a busy person, busy people will get it done. However, they will figure out a way to get it done, or they'll delegate it to somebody else. So it becomes somebody else's problem, right? Somebody else's issue, somebody else's deadline. So start paying attention of practicing saying no just for fun, Hey, Laura, can I call upon you? Say no to me. Don't say yes to me. Say no.
No, Michelle.
Perfect. How did that make you feel?
I feel a little bad, but still good at the same time. But I know
Right?
exactly what you mean. And I put that burnout guide that you mentioned in the chat. So everyone, if you were wondering what she's referencing, check out the chat.
Yeah. So, right, it's just practicing saying no, right? Because that is the way, what does no mean anyways? It's just next opportunity. And they're not rejecting you. They're rejecting the idea that you've presented. How many of you get sales calls or spam calls on our cell phones, right? Do we answer all of them? No. Do we answer unknown numbers? No, right? Because we don't know who they are. If it's that important, they're going to leave a message, right? Important people leave a message, or they'll text you, hey, this is so-and-so, call me back, right? We respond to those. So if you're already saying no to those things, can't you say no to other things? Right? The answer is yes. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I'm a firm believer of that. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you're quick to tie your shoe, you're quick to brush your teeth, you're quick to take a shower, you're quick to eat your food. You're just quick, quick, quick. If you're slow at tying your shoelaces, you're slow at brushing your teeth, you're slow at talking, you're slow at showering. Everything in your day is very, very slow, right? So just start paying attention. What do you do naturally? What comes to you from an unconscious level, something that you're not even thinking about, but it gets done, right? Pay attention. Pay attention to how you plan your week. Pay attention to what information you're keeping, what information you're rejecting, right? What information you're saying no to. How confidently are you presenting yourself? How confidently are you presenting the information in front of you? Because people buy with confidence. People sell with confidence, right? Confidence is what is there. And because you're confident does not make you seem arrogant. Because when you're arrogant, you're hurting people in the process. Confident is just showing that you're, hey, you know your material, right? So we are all confident beings, right? You guys are all confident beings, not arrogant beings. So remember that your confidence comes from within only because you know what you're talking about. You are the expert in your life. No one knows your life better than you do, right? No one knows your life better than you do. No one knows your experiences better than you do. And so I want to give yourself a round of applause for saying yes to you, because that starts today. That starts today at March 25th, right? At 8 p.m. Eastern. It starts now. It does not start tomorrow. It does not start April 1st. You're going to carry on this confidence into Q2. So by June 30th, 2024, you all can send me an email, say, Michelle, I have accomplished my goal, or say, Michelle, I worked halfway through my goals, or Michelle, my goals went out the side door because you're just not important enough, right? So keep me posted in your life, because I am rooting for you. I am your biggest cheerleader, because I want you to win. Because when I win, you win. When you win, your relatives win, your friends win, your loved ones win. You all win together. But if we're losing, if one loses, we all lose, right? So hold yourself high. Continue to show up on these Monday meetings. Learn from the presenter. Learn from the community, because let me tell you, we're not alone. We're not alone. So confidently say yes. Boldly take that courage. Remember, no one plans you like the way you plan you. So start honoring yourself as that house that is solid foundation. Like the skyscraper with a solid foundation, nothing can make it move, right? Nothing can make it fall. Because you know what you want. Your goals are yours. Your vision is yours. So yes, and before I open up to questions, I would like to say I do have 5 spots remaining for my Confidence of Yes strategy session. This is where we're going to take your goals, analyze it, and really support you in making Q2 the best quarter of 2024. It's going to be better than Q1. So if you really want to take this opportunity to plan out your next 90 days, take the call, make the appointment. Let's schedule that call. And I would like to go ahead at this time and open it up to questions and answer any Q&A that you might have. Q&A time is my favorite time.
Q&A time. Excellent. So everyone, feel free to either write in the chat. I will be monitoring it, or you can just go ahead and unmute and ask Michelle your question. Opening the floor. You have any Q2 plans you want to discuss? If you've had a lot of trouble planning out your week, if you've been experiencing burnout, these are all great reasons to be asking our expert in our very midst, Michelle, these questions. Also, make sure to click on that link, have it bookmarked on your computer so that you can get into this session for her Confidence of Yes strategy session. But any questions, folks?
Because this is the last time you'll get me unless Laura books me again. But I don't know if she might book me or not. Depends how much she says yes to me or no to me, right? So we don't know.
Exactly. I mean, I would like to bring her back soon, but it's going to be at least a couple months, folks. So you're going to have to wait. So now is really the time to ask your questions. We got any?
Ask me about my journey, how I got here, what's it like being an entrepreneur, anything related to Have I ever experienced burnout? How did I overcome burnout? The signs of burnout, because burnout is something that it's hidden. It just creeps up upon you. Any questions about the content we talked about today? If you want to do a private, quick 5-minute hot seat coaching, that's available to you. Or, hey, Michelle, I have this issue. How do I overcome it? Whatever it is, the floor is open. So please take the advantage of it, because like Laura said, I may not be able to be in front of you for another couple of months. So now is the time. Hashtag no pressure at all.
Hey, Michelle.
Yes.
I wanted to know, when you got started with the coaching, how did you go about finding customers, or how did they find you?
Yeah. So when I started coaching, it was in 2015 is when I took my first coaching class. And I basically went to my closest friends. I went to my hairstylist and I said, hey, I'm new for a long time. And I've noticed that you've had some issues with, your daughter. Would you be open to getting coached? I'm learning some tools. How would you go about it? And she said, yeah, let's have that conversation. So that's how I got it. I also was just like, hey, you know what? I'm looking for clients and here's what I'm specializing in. Would you like to give it a try? And so I just started putting myself out there saying, here's what I'm learning. I'm not 100% solid in it. I just came out of certification, but part of my certification is I need to complete those 100 hours. Will you be able to help me? Can you support me with that request? Right? Letting your friends and family know that what you are, what are you doing? And if they don't understand what you're doing, they don't have that knowledge yet. They're doing the best that they can with the knowledge that they have, right? So that's where you can either take the time to educate them, like, hey, you know what, Tamika? Oh, wait. Okay, so does that make sense?
Tamika, does that still make sense? Oh,
I don't know. So yeah, so basically just if you have a very if you're passionate about something, let more people know about it. And there are some people that are going to be like, yes, that's the best thing ever. And there are going to be people that's the worst thing ever. And that's where the FYI principle comes in, right? You know what to do in that situation. Say, thank you for not supporting me. And I'm going to move on to the people who do support me. Because trust me, you're not the only real estate agent out there that's looking for clients. Getting down to that niche, really paying attention to your friends, right? What are they saying? What are your real estate friends saying? Right? Building a community around you. Tamika, does that make sense? I think she might have connection issues.
yeah. But I think she heard it. I thought that was a great response though, Michelle.
Yeah, just go out there and ask. If you don't ask, no one's going to know what you're doing. Right? That's where your voice comes in. I know Kadifi loves to be a listener, but sometimes you have to speak up so people know what you're all about, because
Right.
that's the humanness that we bring.
Okay, I apologize. My laptop started acting crazy, so I had to jump on the phone.
Oh, no. Did you hear what I said?
I think I heard most of it. I did miss a little part, but I think I did hear most of it.
Yeah, just go out there and just ask.
Okay.
Hey, I'm a brand new real estate agent in your area. Do you know anybody that's looking to buy or sell a house? Here's the rates that are happening. Here's what's happening in the industry. People are saying that the interest rates are really high, but you know what? I know something that they don't know. Are you open to hearing the information?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Okay.
there are people that want to buy the house. There are people that want to sell the house, but they don't know how to go about it. You might know because you're the agent, but they don't know, and they don't know what they don't know.
Right.
So sit down with them and educate your audience of, just because interest rates are high doesn't mean blah, blah, blah. Or because interest rates are low doesn't mean blah, 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 right? And that blah, blah, blah is where you fill in that blank.
Okay.
Right? Just being open about it. Don't worry about the judgment, right? Don't worry about what people are saying or what they're going to think of you, because they're not your people. The right people are looking for you. They really they're looking for that Tamika to help them. But if you're worried about Joe Smo over here, how is that person named Rebecca going to find you? right? So
Okay.
use the FY principle to say bye-bye, Joshua. Hello, Rebecca.
All right. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Excellent. Thank you.
I just wanted to ask you
Yeah.
the link for the Confidence of Yes strategy session 1 hour, is that a group thing or what is, I think I missed part of that.
It's one-on-one. You get 1 hour with me,
Okay.
but I'm only opening it up to 5 people to book that spot. So only 5 of you get like 5. Basically, I'm only dedicating 5 hours to work with each person one-on-one. Does that make sense?
A pro bono?
Yes, it's a pro bono.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're most
Keep looking.
welcome. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I don't have any other questions. Thank you
Perfect.
both.
Perfect. All right. Well, let's give Michelle a huge round of applause. And I'm going to put all of her contact info in the chat as well, in case you all would like to stay in touch with her. I would love to bring Michelle back probably in a couple months. So definitely be on the lookout. But Michelle, thank you so much again. I think this was really the best way for us to set up our week this week so we can get started this Friday, setting it up really today, honestly. It starts today, 25th at 8 p.m. But thank you all so much for being here. I hope I see you on April 1st. I'm going to put that link in the chat really quick for the how to publish your book. Sorry, I just went to the wrong.
And can I make a plug on that one, Laura?
Please, absolutely.
If you want to be an expert in your field, becoming an author is the best way to do it. Let me repeat that again. If you want to be the leading expert, the industry expert in your field, in your industry, being an author is the best way to do it. So if you want to learn how to become an author, next Monday would be the perfect time to spend. Perfect time to learn how to become an author. It will open up so many opportunities for you. You can increase your income that way. You will get media publicity, because that's the difference between nobody and a somebody, is that they're an expert. And the only way you can become an expert, one of the ways, is becoming an author. And there are strategies that you can create. All you need is your name on that front cover of that book. It does not have to be 1,000 pages. It does not have to be 600. It could be 20 pages. It could be 10 pages. How many of you know children's book, right? What do they call the golden books, right? They were like golden edge. They were like less than 10 pages long, right? And if they could become New York Times bestselling author, don't you think you can do it too? And there were a lot fewer words on those pages because they were a children's book with a lot more pictures. So if they can get 5 words to a page at less than 10 pages, don't you think your story matters? Yes, it does. So next week's session is extremely important if you want to grow your business, if you want to become an expert, if you just want to get your story out there, let people know the legacy that you've lived. Next Monday is a very, very powerful session.
Thank you, Michelle, for saying that, because Michelle herself is an author, so she really knows the importance of this. Like, she gets it to such an umpteenth degree.
Yes.
So
it has changed my life becoming an author. And I became an author in 2020. You remember what happened in 2020? Right? So when the whole world shut down, it's because I became an author. The universe couldn't handle my story being out there in public, right? So if I can shut the whole world down, we've been there, done that. That's the worst thing that could happen, right? So now your stories are open to blossom, to bloom. So take the opportunity. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid to get your story heard. You can just write it and then I'll publish it. Great. But just having the process to write it out, it's a great healing process. It's a great healing process to let go of the things that no longer serve you. Let go of the judgment. Increase more confidence, right? Those words are just words on a paper. They don't have any meaning unless you put some meaning to it.
absolutely.
Take that time to write. We need more human stories in this world because that's how we build trust. Right? That's how we build trust. And being an author has helped me in so many capacities that I can't even think about. It's helped me increase my income. It's given me media presence. It's allowed me to become a TEDx speaker. It's allowed me to really show up and get rid of the imposter syndrome that we face oh, I was supposed to be doing this and now I'm doing this. And so now there's a gap. But every time we grow, every time we get a new promotion, every time we change a job, imposter syndrome is there. To overcome it is to write about it. Write, share, edit, publish. Writing is rewriting, right? Write drunk, edit sober. Not promoting alcohol at all, but just do the brain dump, right? Do the brain dump. So next Monday, if this session wasn't powerful enough, then show up next Monday. That is not an April Fool's joke, let me tell you. Laura has something else better planned up her sleeve. And next Monday is not an April Fool's joke. It is all about getting your stories aloud out there because your stories matter, because you matter.
Exactly. This speaker was dying to be on April 1st as well. She was like, it's not going to be a joke, but I think it'd be so fun. So you have to go support her for that. Well, thank you so much again. Huge round of applause. Everyone, I hope to see you on the 1st, and have a great evening.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do a 2-part series with this beautiful group. I have had such a blast coming back to back. And I look forward to meeting all of you on social media, meeting all of you, maybe at my confidence strategy session, but just know that I am rooting for you and your goals are my goals. So let's keep it all up. Let's raise this community even stronger and better. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.